Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Disco Elysium. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today as we bathe in the smell of the hanging corpse over here, and we're investigating things. This man has tattoos. You can see the tattoos from here. And we also took a picture last episode. We have the victim tattoos. Ask around the tattoos possible meaning. Yes, I will need to do that, but who is gonna know? Who's gonna tell me? I'm gonna inspect the belt. That thing, I assume. Oh man, it's almost... Maybe it's almost ready to drop. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts into his neck. Above, a sliding buckle ties the belt to the branch. What kind of rope is this? Industrial strength, says Kim. The kind used for tying cargo to lorries. Like in a circus, says our inland empire. Don't say that word. Remember last episode, the guy says, the circus has left town, but the clowns are still here. Yeah. When the circus leaves town and they tie a black-spotted giraffe to the wall of a carry pen. Are there any other type of giraffe that doesn't have black spots? Our inland empire, I'll tell you what. Like in a circus for transporting black-spotted giraffes? Kim considers it. No, more like in a harbor, like the one just east of here. I get the sense they used whatever was on hand without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves. Yep, I'm pretty sure that's what happened. By they, do you mean the Hardy Boys? He nods. Right now everything seems to fit their confession. Well, they sure wanted him to stay there. The polyester seems strong. It's not merely polyester, it's steel reinforced, says Kim. He rises to inspect the noose. See these lines? This is where the wires run. I see rabbits for more than 20 strands. This makes getting him down much more problematic than I had assumed. Yeah, probably best way to do it would be to cut. No, I mean, it's kind of... We need tools. We need something to prop us up so that we be able to cut either the tree or that and then lower it slowly. The body without, breaking bones or whatever. I try to preserve as much as possible. Of course, if there's not going to be any autopsy, it doesn't really matter. Oh, which probably there isn't going to be any autopsy. How did they even get him up there? A noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. He points to the buckle, tying the belt to the branch above. Yeah, they just... Yeah. Did they climb up using the kids' ladder? I'm going to point to the one at the side of the tree. That ladder can't carry a grown man, says Kim. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch and then pulled on the belt to close the buckle. He makes a pulling motion. What about the boots? The material appears to be ceramic. Boots? Made of ceramic? Made of clay? Are you sure? It doesn't have to be clay. But it's just basically a mixture of minerals. That's what ceramic is. It's just as long as it's a mixture. I think you always need to be a mixture. Don't you know? No, you don't need to be for it to be a mixture. For it to be like glass is not ceramic, but ceramic glass is ceramic because it's a mixture. But if it's pure, what would it be pure of? What is glass made of? Silica only? No, it's got to be something else. I know it's sand, but, like, what kind of sand? So much sand. Sand is, like, the most interesting thing in the world. It's like, under a microscope, you can tell so many things. It's incredible. Not that I would know personally, but, yeah. Because I am an archaeologist. I don't deal with that. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The man wore thick polymer socks, probably for padding. Yeah, because of the clay boots. A fine array of interlocking plates covers them. Delicate and fragile, they feel alien to the world around you, out of place somehow, says our inland empire. Our logic says these are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set. I'm not sure what we're talking about here. I mean, glass armor? I mean, it's not fantasy. Is it fantasy? I mean, it is fantasy, technically. It's just not magic. Is it magic? Because it has to be. Glass armor doesn't exist. And the reason for it is because armor is glass, or ceramic, even more ceramic, but glass is a little bit crappier than ceramic, and also a little bit better than ceramic in certain circumstances. Glass and ceramic are very hard. They're really, really hard, which means, as with just a general law, it's brittle. It breaks. As we all know that glass breaks, but it is very hard. You know what I mean? What happens to things that are hard? They break. They don't bend. And what do you want from Kevlar? You want it to bend and absorb impact. Can you imagine if it's something? Imagine a thing that doesn't bend and covering you, and it's shot at. It's gonna distribute the impact of the bullet throughout the whole thing, but it's not gonna absorb any of it. It's just gonna transfer it right onto you. And that's bad for armor. That's why one of the most common types of armor is this, like, basically a fabric, just made of fabric. Gambazons and gabbards? No, gambazons, basically, in medieval times. They were super common because they just very thick, and, well, they are pretty thick, but also they are very smooshy. And they absorb all the things, including blades, including axes. It's incredible. Gambazons are amazing. But yeah, for piercing, not so much. But even for piercing, they're pretty good. Like arrows, some arrows have difficulty getting through Gambazon. War arrows, that's a different story, but still. These aren't just boots, are they? They're armor. Indeed, says Kim, oblivious to my rant. With his notebook under his arm, the lieutenant crouches and inspects the soles. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots. Okay, now we're getting into even worse things then. If we're talking about medieval stuff, these are magical. Is he a cosplayer? He's a cosplayer. He's cosplaying a glass armored Oblivion character. Sabatons are basically, boots of war. I don't know what distinguishes them from not that. From any other boot. What kind of armor is this exactly? Ceramic plate, says Kim. Zirconium dioxide, most likely. Zirconium is a metal, I want to say, so it isn't ceramic. You can't have ceramic made of metal. You have an alloy made of metal. That's the terms. That's how the terms are used. This is where the make would be. Under the heel, says Kim. Fairweather. He turns the boot slightly. Fairweather model T500 VE. I'm guessing that's vitreous enamel? This is advanced stuff. Yeah, it'll be maybe coated with it, although I fail to see the purpose of it. Maybe. I mean, if it's all made up, I suppose you could, for sure. What happened to the rest of it? The locals probably scavenged it. It would be odd if he had more on after 7 days. No, what would be odd is that his boots would be on, except for everything else. But maybe that is the case. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. He nods towards Kuno, who's eyeing you suspiciously. This is one thing he might actually know. Yeah, I can't point out the... Understood. Can point out that he would lose the boots first, not the other way around. But still, sabatons dangle off the man's decaying form, ageless and synthetic. The material looks out of place here. It is. It's expensive. The lieutenant draws a line in the condensation of the ceramic with his index finger. We have requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. In that time, we've lost 6 men to semi-automatics. How much are we talking about? For a full set? About 4 years of wages. That is pretty expensive. That's a lot, I take it. Yeah, working for years to make a single armor? That is, yeah. What? He's purposely putting it in terms that are in, like, this is not, these are absolute terms. 4 years of wages. Whatever you might be self-employed, whatever, even if you just are fully independent, it's still the same amount of work. It's 4 years of work, and he's putting it in absolute terms. If he said, it's 500, it's 500. Is that a lot? That's where the question is. I'm gonna ask it, though. As a wage, it's regrettably small, but for a piece of hardware, Yes, that's a lot. Do you mean receiving a piece of armor for 4 years? Or rather, a full armor for 4 years is small? I don't know. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know what he's referring to. It would make a lot more sense if he said, yeah, 500. And then that's a lot, I take it. And he says, nah, as a wage, that's too little. I could imagine it being too little. But for a piece of hardware, yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that would make a lot more sense. I just don't understand the text. How could this man afford such expensive hardware? That's for us to find out, says Kim. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the harbor company. But that's just hearsay. Yeah, these look pretty advanced for a security guard. I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard can afford. Yeah, what if it's issued by the company? I'm gonna knock on the boot first. A small bell-like sound fills the air, like tapping on the side of a porcelain cup. Full of water. Because of the feet. And probably a lot of gunk. Sounds fragile. It's anything but, says Kim. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It really isn't. It spreads kinetic energy horizontally from plate to plate, dissipating it entirely. He points to the boots. See? Yeah, so it's the opposite of what ceramic does. Okay, but it's made up, so we can pretend. Faint organic lines cover the plates where they separate its smaller ones. These plates then divide into smaller plates until there are hundreds of them altogether. Like the scales of some ancient white monster, cracked and pearly. Well, I'm gonna pull the boot off. This feels dangerous, are you sure? Yeah, let's grab the boot under the arm. The stench fills your nostrils. As you push downward, an ominous creaking sound comes from above. There we go. I told you I was gonna be able to do this. Stop! The lieutenant's voice is sharp. He looks at you with the boot under your arm. Big's gonna pull his head off! Kuno says. Brutal, says Kuno S. Lieutenant, you seem distressed. Why? You're about to pull his head off, says Kim. Do it, Tomo! I'm gonna pull his head off, right? What is that line over here? Do what? Pull his head off, Kim says. There's no point performing an autopsy if you do. We'll have compromised the coroner's case. What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on that boot? Some lucre. That means profit. I'm sorry, I didn't even want to take them off. I just thought I should try. Try what exactly? You just said it. You just said it. Pull his head off. That's what I tried it. I wanted to see what happens. I don't think we should do anything just for the hell of it. Besides, the lieutenant taps on the boot. There's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing down into the boots. They're fused to his feet now. Why do you think the locals haven't scavenged them yet? That's not how... I mean, they're magic boots, so yeah, I suppose that's the case. There might still be a way to peel them off, but first the body needs to be down, says our interfacing. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around. Refuse for honor. Sounds like a plan. The anticipation makes you crack your fingers. Feels nice. Nice and cracky. Wait, did I just accept the Kim to be absent? Nah, I'm not gonna do that mission. Can I put it away? No? Okay, well, I'm gonna ignore it. There's gonna be a lot of missions that I'm gonna ignore, which is gonna make the journal irrelevant in short term, because there's just gonna be so much stuff. Because you can't hide them. You should be able to hide all the time, in all RPGs forever. Like, sing karaoke, hide. Where do I do that? Cannot do that. I should be able to. What's going to happen to the boots then? Processing will take care of them. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing, but we must pick our fights. He looks towards the boots. Should we continue? Yeah. I'm gonna squint and take a step back. As you narrow your eyes, the monster before you blurs into a violent mess of green and pink. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue, his fatted hands, thighs, and his neck just above the noose. The rest of the corpse appears dark green in the cold spring air. I'm gonna stop and relax my eyes. The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in tattoos and extremities blotched pink and blue. So how do we get him down? Kim stops to think and then checks his notes. Are you sure we've finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's down. Nah, let's step back to take another look. Let's look him in the eye. It's gonna get me my morale down, but whatever. His eyes are milky white and blind to the world, protruding comically from their sockets. There is no one home, just subaquatic terrors there. Underwater. It's just underwater. Why do you need to make it Latin? Anyway, dark. It's still an English word, but it comes from the Latin rather than from Germanic languages. Dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head green has passed. What remains is an unrecognizable mess. Underneath the curled meat, there is an expression not carried on his features but below inside. That's our empathy talking. An expression of pleasure. This man was experiencing joy at the moment of his death. Huh. Tell me, who are you, dead man? I'm gone, says the dead man. This is our Inland Empire ability. Why were you feeling pleasure when you died? Maybe I was getting my rocks off. So you were feeling sexual arousal when they were hanging you? Do I look like an erotic auto-asphyxiation type to you? How does an erotic auto-asphyxiation type look like? Yes? Probably is the answer. Captain Copodromo, I fear we are drifting away, fixating on sexuality again. Let's go with a simpler question. He didn't choke himself, says our logic. You know it. You can do that too. In the erotic auto-asphyxiation thing, I mean. It's just a matter of... I'm not really sure how we do it, but look it up. Don't do unsafe things. That's... yeah. But it's a thing. I hate you. You stink and you're boring. Oh. I can see you're gone, but who are you? I'm a joke. Look at me. Well, there's nothing funny about you, I'm gonna say. There's nothing funny about jokes either, says the hanged man. That is a really interesting line. That is a really interesting line. You need to think of it as a person who would write this line, and like, because it is a good comeback joke, right? But so from that standpoint, it works, because it works for everything. Is that he says, "I'm an apple. Look at me," and I say, "Well, it don't look appetizing," and then he would say, "Well, there's nothing appetizing about apples either." But the problem is, you know, that would all of those retorts would always mean, you know, that he doesn't find apples to be appetizing. Here he's saying that he doesn't find jokes funny. Which in this case is doubly meaning. Is a double meaning because he's not funny. Huh. Who were you when you were alive? A killer. A motherfucker and a killer. Where have you gone? He called me Kobo, by the way. I don't know what that means. Into the wild pale yonder, he says. Where's that? In the past, way out in the west. Enough. You can come back and look into his face anytime you want, I suppose. Ask me your... Oh, he's talking to me. Ask me your questions. Freshen your memory. Create associations. Remind yourself of your mortality. Copo Lopo. Is he getting longer on my names? Oh, Kobo is probably like a cop. Copo Lopo is... Well, I hate you. You stink, and you're boring. Do I remind you of someone? A deep-sea creature? No, not quite. Be fair now. A baby affected with harlequinism. I don't actually know what harlequinism is. It's probably a disease, I assume. But I wouldn't know. You don't remind me of anyone. Sure I do. You just don't want to admit it. Yeah, I know what you mean. You remind me of me. Yep, Kim, the preliminary examination is done. Let's get him down from there. The steel reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't see a good angle to approach to the belt. Says Kim. The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting it. These don't come across as character defining. Because it's not the first time we see that. You wouldn't say... Like, what measure was this translated from? This feels like those weird translations that I used to read as a kid, honestly. Where, like, certain measures would show up as, like, 9.7 kilometers an hour. And I'm like, why are you talking in such specific terms? But that's because they got translated from, I don't know, 5 miles an hour or something. Whatever. It's not 9.7. It would be 5 miles an hour is probably around 6.2 kilometers an hour. Either way, it doesn't matter. The point is, yeah, it doesn't come across as character defining, even though it would be. Because, like, oh, he's very precise. Nah, I don't know. I don't know if he is. Maybe we could ask for help from the harbor? I was really hoping we wouldn't. The Union appears to be suspects in this case, or suspect in this case. It seems like a dangerous route to go down. Okay, let's not do that then. But what other options? The corpse twists on the belt like a chicken skewer. Yeah, can someone else do it? Someone else? He pauses. You mean like the police? You have a point there. It's not what I wanted. Sadly, yes. The whole RCM is out there right now, doing the exact same thing we are. Are we in a rush to help them? Not with this on our hands. He covers his nose. I know it's hard, but I assure you the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need to get him down fast. We could saw the branch. Climb up there and saw the branch? Asks Kim. Yeah, it seems dangerous. There has to be a less risky way, with less falling down trees. Yeah, Maybe we could shoot him down? That definitely wouldn't work. That super wouldn't work. Remember my rant about how glass doesn't break? Well, guess what else doesn't break? Steel reinforced tissue. Or whatever. You know, that. You shoot that, and the bullet is just gonna and go elsewhere. And if he doesn't, he'd make a hole in it, and that's that. It doesn't do anything else. I'm gonna say it, though. Yeah! The enthusiasm is unrestrained. Bang, bang, time, pigs! Shoot his head off! The lieutenant remains unaffected. How? Well, I don't know. Just, you know, shoot up there, maybe? And point towards the branch. Yes, Kim says. He corrects his glasses. The buckle where it ties the cargo belt to the tree. If the shot hits that, then there might be a small chance to release the belt. There also might be a small chance of the bullet ricocheting towards you or towards the kids. That is so unsafe to everything. Yeah, now we're talking. Entertain the Kuno with some shit, says Kuno. They'll miss. The pigs will miss, Kuno, says Kuno. I say, they won't. That's not the problem. Even I can make that shot. I mean, that probably. The lieutenant is undecided. On one hand, he wants to shoot some gun. Which is... No, he's gonna shoot the buckle, not the gun. On the other, it's an awfully stupid idea. Yes, it is. Yes, it really is. I am gonna say that. We're gonna get ourselves into so much trouble with all this. All my options. Take the shot, Lieutenant. What's the worst thing that could happen, apart from the things that I just mentioned? I'll blow his head off, says Kim. Take it! Take the shot! Yeah, Kim is oblivious to all the reality. He's talking about ceramic boots again. Yeah, he thinks that he's gonna... Okay, yeah, he's doing it. He's gonna do it. Yeah, take the shot, Kuno. Want to some of that shit? Silence. Kim is silent. With his elbows sharp, the lieutenant unzips his jacket. It's a mouth-loading gun. Did you see that? And produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. What kind of world is this that they don't have semi-automatic weapons? Seriously, that's like... Those existed before electricity. Or, sort of. Not really. Securing it in place. Gives the cartridge 5 tucks. We know the thing. He then steps back and assumes the phallostese position, taking aim. The corner of his eye twitches. His finger is on the trigger. I'm not gonna say anything. Oh. He's gonna fucking me! The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the surrounding tenements. A cloud of smoke slowly parts in the air as the lieutenant steps back and says to himself, God damn it. He feels bad about it, about his eyes mostly, just having bad eyesight, probably from a young age. Whatever you do not console him, says our empathy. Fucking idiot! Mukopa asshole! Kuno could have hit it easy, says Kuno, but then Kuno's not fucking handicap, is he? Try again, maybe? No, says Kim. We're lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. He looks around at the windows overlooking the yard. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I didn't do us any favors with that. Nah, it's gonna be fine. It's weird that it was our empathy saying, do not console him. What now? I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance. Yeah, I said that, didn't I? I said that. Am I good with a gun? Motorics, hand-eye coordination? Interfacing? I am not good with a gun. I'm gonna miss. That's it. We have to ask for help from the arbor. Okay. He looks at the cargo belt. They do have the tools and the men, and since it looks like they put him there... Yeah, they can get him down too. He sighs. Okay, let's do it the lousy, dangerous way. You are the lousy, dangerous one in here. But we're out of time for the day. So, for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Disco Elysium. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and if you did, go ahead and leave a comment, like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later, but above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.